you're trying to get something done, you have to stop up. And short intro is that a 3.5mm jack is not just a 3.5mm jack. And when these started to become common with microphones for mobile phones and stuff, there actually was more than one standard, and this was not interchangeable. And it was the microphone and the knob that was there to take off the hook on the phone. And you can see here the iPhone had the microphone in here and it had the ground here. And the Nokia, Samsung, HTC and so on had this switched around. And this standard is the one that stuck. So today most things follow this standard. And for some application it really doesn't matter if the ground and the signal wire is switched around. But of course, if you also are going to use the loudspeaker or output to your headphones, then it does matter because it's relative to the ground signal that's here. And if you want to split this to use microphone input on a computer where you just have one connector, you have to make it from two outputs into one. And this is what I'm going to do here. I'm going to make a connection that makes these go into this and this on my computer to be able to connect my Røde microphone set up to my computer to be able to deliver some better audio to you. And there are some finished adapters that can do this, like this one on eBay, but I don't have it here, so I'm going to try to make it some other way. This is Kojro, and this is just one of those side projects that always creeps along when you are trying to do something. And I was listening into some of the audio from my last video, and I was thinking that I might be able to improve them. And I have these from another project that I had going some time ago, but then I need to have a 3.5mm kind of jack, and this is not the kind where you have the microphone input on the end as you have on modern computers. If you have an old-fashioned computer with its own microphone inlet, then this would have been okay, but I'm missing this fourth contact here. So if we have these along here, you can see this stripe here that is the break between ground and the microphone input. So when I plug this into an ordinary jack, the microphone input is grounded. And I have this old lead here that I'm just going to cut. I'm going to measure into that and that. And I'm going to wire that into this female jack here. I'm of course not going to use it on this because this is only a 3-pole. And I'm going to try to make some adapter. That means that I can plug this into my computer and have a working Røde microphone setup. Then I will be able to use the label mic, that is the other unit in this. It's this one here, and it do have the mic input here, so this I can fasten on my shirt and whatever, and the sound will be more consistent when I bend away from the microphone. So that's what I will try to do. So I need to get my multimeter. I have also tried to change power supply. I have not tested this yet. This is my iPhone cable and another PC charger that has a USB-C output. Yeah, we can see it's heating up, so it's working. It's cooling down again. And I'm going to get this cut, and I'm going to have the multimeter there. If it wasn't for the auto shutdown feature of this multimeter, I would be running out of batteries constantly. But I just put this in beep mode, continuous testing, in oh, this cable here is really thin. It's almost impossible to cut it, but this cutter is not the best. But this wire is, yeah, it's meant to be very sturdy to not break when people are dragging on all these leads. It's very thin wire with this threaded here. It's just try to dismantle it and see what I can see here, or nearly not is able to see. It's not looking like this is normal insulation on these cables. It rather looks like there are some threaded stuff, or maybe it's the same as in on the windings on the transformer and stuff, that it's some kind of lacquer or something over them. I do have to look to them through my magnifying glass, I think. Yeah, there is one red, one green, one gold, and one white. So there actually are 4 connections here in addition to the grounded braid that was surrounding this. So I'm just going to try to dismantle this to find out what is what. This braided here do have a thread also inside. Yeah, I think all the 4 others are wires. And what is what? I can first measure to see if anything is connected to this one. That should be ground. Does not look like that is connected. And there could also be some wires that is connected to this, but these only have the 4 connectors. Okay, I'm going to try to dismantle this. This is very, it's like a hair. Like so. This was the white one. And this should be connected to what? Yeah, this is dismantled. So there should be some connection to something. The white one, not connected. This was absolutely the most annoying wire I ever dealt with, or at least in the top tire. And I'm trying to scrape this away. I'm trying to make connections with dragging the pliers against the threads to make it, yes, take away the top layer of lacquer and stuff on this. But I'm just giving up. So I'm taking the soldering iron and I'm going to make a blob on each of these lines and just burn away whatever is on there. Yeah, when burning off this, it can go both ways. You can melt some of the plastics or something into the wire and not be able to solder. But in my experience, if you use good solder on this, you will at least get something to stick. And that's all I need. I need something to put the measurement leads against. And it might seem like we have a result on this one. So this one is the ground wire. And let's check out the others. Yeah, this one was the microphone wire. So these are the 2 that I need. Yeah, I'm not sure how this is connected, but it sure doesn't matter. So we can just try to mend this. This is going to be extremely difficult to solder. Yeah, the details of this is not watchable on video like this. I just have to show you this in high speed, and I'm going to show you a close-up how this looks. I've just shorted these two wires together, and I soldered in the thin wires, one to the ground and one to the signal. And let's measure how that works out in real life. Now I'm measuring this through the lead, the original microphone lead for the Røde. So I'm actually measuring from the pins that's going into the computer to the input of the Røde microphone through this lead. And it works okay. I do think this will be working just perfectly. Maybe we can give it a try. This is not a very good strain relief, but if I'm very careful with this, we can actually test it. Yeah, my soldering iron has gone to sleep. Oh, it's enough to touch it and then it wake up again, so I don't have to push any buttons. I didn't knew that. And I am now talking with my Røde label microphone. I fastened it on my shirt, and it seems to be working. This is the receiver part that is plugged into my computer, and I do seem to get good sound. I will try to go away from the table, or not go. I will take my chair and drive away, and I will try to speak, and yeah, it looks really good. It seems to catch the sound, so I'm really sure that this is the microphone that I'm using. So this was some crazy shit soldering, and I've been repairing these kinds of things in the past, but these leads, they are getting extremely thin, and now of course everything is gone wireless, but would I have been able to repair this if it was broken? I don't think so. I have done something in the past, but that has been with lead that is thicker than this, and that this contains 4 leads. It's almost impossible to think, but I was able to solder this, even though it was a stretch to call it anything that has to do with solder, but it's more like a glue batch job, but it's working. So I will call that a win. So then I will just go on with the next part in the amplifier series and look into the power supply.